Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for being awesome and being completely understanding with the fact that a small project became a big project, so I could not do this morning. Uh, you know, wonders of a state of the art 1971 house, you know. Uh, the subflooring under the gross carpet was all grody, so Mr. Mo spent most of the day chiseling that up because apparently they didn't glue it, they nailed it, and, well, Dingus had a terrible day because he wanted to roll in all of the sawdust, and he had to get his first bath. Not a fan. Thank you, Christine, for joining, and Wolfram, thank you, as always, for doing the mod stuff. That is just awesome. Ghostery, thank you, and Squaw Bob, thank you for being on Rumble and also being on YouTube. Mom of 10, good evening. Jess, welcome. Cynthia, welcome. And Cool Gamer, I hope you're doing well. Sophia Starland, thank you guys so much. Yeah, we figured it out. I'm glad that Mr. Mo has the skills. No, there's no asbestos, just children and, you know, everyone not cleaning up the carpet. And absolutely, I am going to pin, oh, for the love of Cheetos. No, I don't want to heart it. I want to pin it. Why won't you? I'm going to pin Captain Kern's Give, Send, Go. I will be donating tomorrow because that's when I get my fun money, which is always fun. So please, if you can, you know, donate. And if you can't, just let them know, let Captain Kern know that you're thinking about him, which obviously does help. Let's see, our first story, and this is I think a case that a lot of people have sort of been keeping up on, but Magdalena Kojokari's mother pleads guilty and faces deportation while stepfather stalls over interview about mother's fears. This beautiful, sweet little angel girl disappeared a while back, and the mother is finally saying something, and the stepdad has always seemed creepy to me. Let's see. Monday proved to be a pivotal if enigmatic day surrounding the search for missing North Carolina girl. Not only did the girl's mother, Diana Kojakari plead guilty in a Mecklenburg County courtroom to failing to report her disappearance, but the defense for the child's stepfather, Christopher Palmiter, asked for more time to review evidence before his trial on the same charge, which was due to start Monday, according to local NBC affiliate WCNC. His attorneys reportedly said they only just received an interview in which Diana's cousin told the FBI about her seeking a safe place for her and Madalena. Neither parent, however, is charged with the girl's disappearance beyond failing to tell the authorities that she'd gone missing in late November 2022. Now, I do believe Stephanie Harlow does a better breakdown, and also the Misery Machine are two channels. The Misery Machine, they're a great little duo. I don't know if they're a couple or but they're real sweet, and they do a lot of cases involving children trying to keep, you know, people aware of some of the bad things that happen. So they're not an upbeat channel, but they do a really good job researching and, giving respect and dignity to the kids. Neither okay. She went missing at age 11 and she would be 13 now. A judge reportedly said that Diana, 39, had already spent the maximum amount of time behind bars for the crime and she would be released from custody. Online records show her behind the bars as of Tuesday, but it's unclear how long she would stay in the United States in the long run. On Monday, she acknowledged the judge's warning that because she was here on a green card, it is likely she'll be deported to her nation of birth, Moldova, an eastern. Okay, wait, Moldova. What was the name of the, fake country on Princess Bride? Because I'm hoping it wasn't Moldovia, and I've just been oh, interesting. I learn all this cool stuff for from you guys. An Eastern European nation bordering Ukraine to the south. Genovia. Thank you. I was like, "I know Moldovia." Genovia. Thank you, Jess Ruby. I knew someone would remember. Tamara, welcome and, great success. I was going Transylvania next. As for Palmeter, 61, his defense reportedly pushed back the trial to Tuesday afternoon, but want time to review an interview in which Diana's cousin apparently discussed her. According to reported documents, Diana went to this male cousin for help, leaving Palmeter, and had given Magdalena's school a medical excuse for the girl missing class. Now, I believe, if I remember this case correctly, so take it with a grain of salt, but I believe that the mother came over, bringing her daughter as a kind of arranged marriage thing, and he turned out to be not so great a guy. Um, Now, neither of the 2 are taking responsibility for the girl going missing, but neither of the 2 reported the daughter going missing. Welcome, Allie and Dee Robertson. The mother allegedly voiced concern that she was in danger from a third party and not her husband. Diana revealed her delusional fears to her cousin and tells him that she has accumulated enough funds to live off for 2 to 3 months, documents said, according to a report by local ABC affiliate WSOC. Documents also referenced her allegedly sending large amounts of money outside the U.S. Prosecutors reportedly argued this material was not exculpatory, told Paul Meter, but the defense said it was their business to know what Diana was up to. Quote, the defense needs to know whom Diana was in contact with, where and when she went, and what contacts and calls she had in order to bolster Palmiter's defense regarding his reasonable belief. The defense reportedly wrote. They're also asking for evidence, including search warrant results. I mean, and at the bottom of these 2 adults acting like children is this beautiful, lovely young girl, and this is the last some of the last footage we have of her, leaving a school bus, and after that, after she got off this bus, we don't know where she went. She never went to school again, according to cops in the town of Cornelius, North Carolina. A school resource officer and a school counselor visited the family home on December 12th, 2022, but no one answered. Diana allegedly arrived on campus for a meeting following on the following December 15th with no sign of Madalena. She allegedly told the cops she last saw her daughter on November the 23rd, 2022, and that when she went to check on her on November 24th, which is also Thanksgiving, she was not in her room. Diana stated she waited until Saturday, November 26th at, let's see, 12 minus 19, 7. So at 7 p.m., when Christopher, her husband, returned home from a road trip before asking if he knew where her daughter was. I mean, this whole thing stinks to absolutely high heaven. You know, the wife's like, I couldn't find her. I'm going to wait till my husband comes home. And the husband's like, "I didn't take her. I don't even know where she is." I mean, just 2 ridiculous adults acting ridiculous. Palmeter claimed not to know, and he asked Diana the same question the defendant alleged. I, the affiant, asked Diana why she did not report Magdalena missing until now, authorities said. Dinah said she was worried it might start a conflict between her and Christopher. Palmeter allegedly told the police he left home for Michigan on November 23rd to pick up items. He said he did not see Magdalena the day he left, and he believed that was the last time he saw her was a week before his trip. So again, they're living in the same house and they're both like, "I don't know, kid." I mean, y Sir Murder Mittens, we are going to have a talk. He allegedly returned home on November 26th and asked his wife, it this is this child is this child, I hope, is safe and with someone that's good, but I know the reality, and I know the stark reality. I hope she's just not suffering. I mean, if this case turns into an ugly one, I hope that she's not suffering right now because this looks absolutely just all the hinky. But it will be a case that I'm watching because the fact that neither of them have been charged beyond just failure to report, you know, a child missing, it something seems hinky about all of this and just I don't know. But I will try to keep an eye on it and let you guys know if there's any new, thoughts going on, but this one looks like it's going to be another one that we're not gonna find the truth out for a while, and if we do find the truth, it's not gonna be a happy truth, unfortunately. Well, in other news, if you'd like to see a stinky corpse, flower bloom, you are almost you are almost there. Colorado State University's stinky corpse flower is preparing to bloom. Now, I don't know if y'all have these in your, neighborhoods, but well, I'm trying to. He's eating right now, Ghost Ray. I will try to get him over here. But if you have those Bradford pear trees or whatever trees that smell like death incarnate when they flower, I can only imagine that's 1/10 of the stinky corpse flower, but, it looks it looks not all that interesting, but hey, if you want a beautiful stank, welcome. I have questions about everything. Let's see. Colorado State University is inviting members of the public to come experience a uniquely smelly spectacle, the first blooming of its corpse flower. The university said plant growth facilities manager Tammy Brenner brought the pungent plant named Cosmo to the school in 2016. And after 7 years of carefully rearing it in the College of Agricultural Sciences Conservatory, Cosmo is preparing to bloom for the first time. Yeah, you know what? Hard pass. Something if you say that's like the people that say durian fruit is really good when I've heard it lovingly described by Andrew or Odd Eats guys, Andrew Zimmerman, I think, as, dirty socks and rotted onion. I know it's an acquired taste, I just don't need to acquire anything. Cosmo came out of dormancy around 3 weeks ago, and we didn't expect anything exciting, Brenner said in a news release. But then 2 weeks ago, it started to look a little more full and a little more plump. It started growing and shooting out stalks, and we realized something big is about to happen. Uh, I am not even going to attempt the Latin name of these, but they are commonly known as corpse flowers due to the unique rotting smell they emit during blooming. Yep, yeah, because nothing, says romance like a rotting corpse. Look, I know this has to be someone's jam, but, if was out in the wild and something stunk, I wouldn't bring that stinky plant back home. The flower is expected to begin its bloom on Saturday, but Brenner cautioned that the exact date won't be known until the bloom begins. The bloom is only expected to last for 2 to 3 days, and Cosmo won't bloom again for another 3 to 5 years. This is a rare occasion and a big deal because if it will be the first bloom for the corpse flower here at Colorado State University. Banner said the Conservancy will be open to the public for corpse flower viewings and smellings from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day of the bloom. Well, I mean, you guys, if anyone goes and there happens to be a t-shirt that says, "I saw a corpse flower and all I got with is this stupid t-shirt," tell buy it for me and I will cash app you the money. Because if we have a t-shirt like that, that is that is my absolute desire. Is it the 1990s again? Because what in the actual hell? We have a postal worker going postal. Look, if we're redoing the 90s, I want the original Power Rangers back, I'm just saying. But sadly, and all jokes aside, some people, I don't know, these past couple years just broke some people. UPS employee uses a force multiplier to down a coworker in broad daylight as he sat in his truck on his route. A UPS employee is accused of shooting and killing a colleague as the man sat in his delivery truck on a Southern California street. Rian Jalapa Fontenzoa, 46, faces a murder charge in the death of Expedito Ciosta de Leon, 50. He also faces special circumstance allegations of firing from a vehicle and murdering by lying in wait, and a gun sentencing enhancement, prosecutors said. So the victim was shot Thursday at Chrysler and Fleming in Orange County, city of Irvine, about an hour southwest of downtown Los Angeles. Police responded to the area at 3 p.m. on multiple reports that gunshots were heard, police said on X. Melton Garcia told Los Angeles CBS affiliate K or CKAL he heard 5 shots. Bang, 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 he told the station. Then there was like a pause, maybe a minute or something like that. Then you hear 2 or 3 more shots. Authorities found the victim slumped in the driver's seat of his delivery truck. They tried life saving measures, but the victim died from multiple gunshot wounds. Surveillance footage captured the suspect wearing a dark colored baseball cap and a face mask in a silver Honda Ridgeline truck pulling alongside the UPS truck before driving off, police said. Police put out a countywide broadcast, and authorities found the truck half an hour later. A standoff ensued, a SWAT team was called, and the suspect eventually surrendered. Los Angeles Fox affiliate KTTV reported police were seen firing tear gas into the truck and using a police dog to get the suspect out of the truck at 6:15. Oh, well, see, people were asking to see you. Dingus McMurder Muffins. He's like, no, I would like to simply walk on the desk and possibly touch the keyboard if possible. Let's see here. Authorities said that the men were acquaintances, but the motive for the murder remained unknown. The victim's sister said on GoFundMe that her brother was a wonderful, caring, funny person, and he was, quote, gunned down in broad daylight by a coworker, which is sad. Friends of De Leon gathered to mourn the victim near where he was killed, KCAL reported. Albert Alba, who worked with the victim for 30 years, said the family man was an avid mountain biker and was well loved. Quote, he was just an awesome worker, a great guy. Everyone loved him, Alba told the station. Just an all around good guy. This senseless killing just shocked me. I don't understand. So it is. It is really sad that people are just, if you don't like someone, just, I don't know, just ignore them. I don't get it. I hope that these people, that his family get the justice and maybe some peace and understanding this insanely ridiculous thing that happened to them. In other news, if you are in Oregon, you might not be in Oregon for very long. So, in a bid to move forward the Greater Idaho Project, 13 counties in Oregon that are closer to Idaho and maybe have different political leanings uh, have put a ballot measure up to see if they can secede from Oregon to become Greater Idaho. Now, I'm not sure that Oregon is going to let them leave, but they are putting those ballot measures up. Another right leaning county in eastern Oregon has voted to secede from, uh, the more liberal part of the state and join neighboring Idaho, according to reports. Crook County residents passed the measure by a 53% majority Tuesday, making it the 13th county in the state to sign on to the movement known as Greater Idaho, News Nation reported. The voters of Eastern Oregon have spoken loudly and clearly about their desire to see the border talks move forward. The Greater Idaho Movement's executive director, Matt McCaw, uh, Mick McCaw. How can you be both Mick and Caw? I look. It's your last name, sir. With the latest result in Cook County, there's no excuse left for the legislator and the governor to continue to ignore the people's wishes. Yeah, sweeties, I'm just saying that I think the governor will continue to ignore you and try to keep your tax money. But I mean, we can all live in hope that you guys voting will give you your choice. Greater Idaho would see more than half of Oregon's territory leave the Beaver State and join Idaho to the east. The move would shift Idaho's border 200 miles west past the heart of Oregon. Greater Idaho began in earnest in 2020 and quickly began gaining traction, with 11 of the state's 36 counties voting to endorse the idea by 2022. Driving a force Driving the force is a sharp political divide between the more sparsely populated rural and conservative interior of Oregon and the liberal coastal cities with population hubs like Portland and the state capital, Salem. If Greater Idaho were achieved, Oregon would lose two-thirds of its lands, but only about 10% of its population, a disparity which has left conservative interior parts of the state feeling like their laws are being passed by people with no connection to their lifestyle or beliefs. I do wish that they would just um, let these counties go, given that it's not going to take the population away, which would really working. Oh, thanks. It's just a handkerchief. But I would rather people live in a place that kind of reflects their values. And if they're doing this through democracy, I know there's going to be a lot of rigmarole, but I wish they would just let people vote the way they want to vote. It never seems fair that, Illinois has a lot of people that live, in rural areas that are have their votes kind of swallowed up by Chicago. But I am in favor of uh, a state electoral system, but that's just me, because that way cities could not overdo, maybe sparsely counted, but other counties. Every county should have its say, I think. But what do I know? I'm just a redhead on the internets. If Greater Idaho were achieved, oh, so I did. I read that part. The Oregon Idaho line was established 163 years ago and is now outdated, the movement's website reads. It makes no sense in its current location because it doesn't match the location of the cultural divide in Oregon. Greater Idaho seeks to include 17 counties in its movement, made up of 14 full counties and 3 partial counties. Even if the movement gets all the votes it needs, the process is far from over. In excuse me, in order to secede, the state legislators of both Oregon and Idaho need to approve the measure, and then the U.S. Congress would also need to approve. State borders have been redrawn in the past, including the territory of Maine becoming a state independent of Massachusetts in 1820, but never before has a large swath of land and citizens seceded to join another state. I mean, honest. Oh, yes, let me get Rumble, and I think I can pin this. Watch me not be able to do it, but I'm going to try. Do, do, do. Where am I? Oh, if only I could work things. Alrighty. Okay. Now it should be pinned, allegedly. Allegedly. Okay, I will have to put that on my note of things, helping Mr. Mo, uh, sweep up all the gross subfloory stuff was about all I could handle today. I'm like, "I'm out." In disgusting and gross news and American Airlines, you need to come out and grovel. I need you to grovel for what you did to this child. American Airlines claimed a child was at fault for being secretly recorded in a restroom. It has now changed its response. After American Airlines, in a legal response, blamed a 9-year-old girl for using an airplane restroom that had a recording device allegedly placed there by a former employee, the airline has changed its response. The company was responding to a civil lawsuit filed against American Airlines claiming the girl, listed as Mary Doe, was secretly filmed while using an airplane toilet during an American Airlines flight in January 2023. A former American Airlines flight attendant, Estes Carter Thompson, 37, who federal investigators say had been secretly recording several minors while they used the restroom on different American Airlines flights that last year, is also named in the lawsuit filed in Texas. The former employee is facing federal child grossness charges. The incident involving the 9-year-old occurred during a flight from Austin, Texas to Los Angeles, California, the lawsuit states. In a filing Monday, American Airlines initially argued that the girl was at fault in negligence because she used a lavatory, quote, she knew or should have known contained a visible and illuminated recording device. Lord Chippy, we have some direct contestants. I can't. It was her fault, your creepo employee put a camera in there. The entire legal team, Snake Island. In response to CNN's request for a comment on the filing, American Airlines said that the filing was made in error by outside counsel retained by the airline's insurance company. Sure, sure, Jan. Quote, the included defense is not representative of our airline, and we have directed it be amended this morning, American Airlines said when they were caught. Uh, we do not believe this child was at fault, and we take allegations involving a former team member very seriously. No, you just look like mega giant jackasses and you're covering your ass before you realize that people are fed up and motivated to boycott. You realize that, Bud Light and Target are still feeling the effects of people saying, "Okay, you don't want us to shop here? Fine. Okay." Let's see. The airline's amended response filed Wednesday in Travis County District Court removes the defense that Mary Doe was at fault for being filmed in the plane's bathroom. Defenses by the American Airlines lawyers stating that their conduct did not contribute to the alleged injuries were also removed, along with language that claims the airline is, quote, not liable to a plaintiff because it had no legal duty to disclose any of the information not disclosed. Attorney Paul Llewellyn, who is representing the girl and her family, said he believes American Airlines' change in direction was in response to public backlash. To claim that they filed the quote wrong answer is simply not credible, but the bell cannot be unrung. Llewellyn told CNN in a statement Wednesday they should have never taken such an outrageous position in the first place. Llewellyn is calling American Airlines' legal strategy depraved and shocking. Agreed. Instead of taking responsibility for this awful event, American Airlines is actually blaming our daughter for being filmed, the child's mother said in a statement. How in good conscience could they even make such a suggestion? Well, because, are they related to Boeing in any way? Last month, Thompson was indicted in Massachusetts on federal charges, including all the regular gross stuff that we need Lord Chippy to solve allegedly in Minecraft, uh, in connection to an incident following a 14-year-old on American Airlines flight bound for Boston, according to the criminal complaint. While investigating that incident, federal prosecutors in Massachusetts said they uncovered additional videos on Thompson's iCloud account that showed four additional minors, including the 9-year-old girl, using the restroom on American Airlines flights between January and August 2023. This dude has reams and years of this. So I hope that every single child that was unwittingly captured is notified, because these creepos share these things with each other, and someone with good internetery skills is getting all of those off the internets forever. I don't have those internety skills, otherwise I do it, but y'all, we don't want Mo messing with the internets. The parents of the 14-year-old, who is being referred to as Jane Doe, also filed a complaint against American Airlines in North Carolina after she was filmed in the airplane toilet during a flight from Charlotte, North Carolina. American Airlines' conduct immediately following the incident, including not immediately confiscating the flight attendant's phone and not immediately notifying the pilots, allowed the flight attendant to destroy evidence and exacerbate the harm suffered by the plaintiff, the complaint said. According to the complaint, Jane Doe has suffered a significant amount of emotional distress and damages as the result of the airline's conduct and now seeks relief. Again, this is terrible, and I would think that corporations would be much more mindful of how things will be interpreted in the public. You do not blame a 9-year-old child because some gross jerk face, decides to be gross and disgusting. I mean, you're lucky he left Texas, because Texas knows how to deal with this stuff. Good, bad, and vigilante, if you know what I'm saying, allegedly in Minecraft. Or let the parents have at him. At this point, I'm okay with that. And more answers are coming out, but if this is, God's army, then Lord, we have better messengers. Missing moms unalived by quote unquote God's misfit crew found dead in a chest freezer buried on a farm. Just, you could not come up with more what in the Walmart rapture am I looking at here? But that's about it. The group of people who dubbed themselves God's Misfits, you know what? The name is probably wanted and needed. Murdered two moms on a rural Oklahoma highway and drove them to a cattle farm where they dug a hole with a skid steer and buried the bodies inside a chest freezer, according to warrants. Tiffany Adams, 54, her boyfriend Tad Burt Cullum, 43, along with Cora Twombly, 44, and her husband Cole Earl Twombly, 50, are charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and one count of conspiracy to commit murder. A fifth person, 31-year-old Paul Grease, is facing the same charges. They are accused of killing Veronica Butler, 27, and Jillian Kelly, 39. And let me pause here to say that Jillian Kelly was trying to be a good friend to a woman she didn't really know, going to help her pick up, her children, and she was afraid of her in-laws, outlaws, and other laws. Adams is the paternal grandmother of Butler's two children, and the two were in the midst of a bitter custody dispute. Butler's family reported her and Kelly missing on March 30th after they'd failed to return from a meeting with Adams to pick up the kids. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime says Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation agents searched a property in rural Texas County, Oklahoma on April 13th. Agents had tracked burner phones used by the suspects from the site of the alleged murders to the farm Cullum rented to raise cattle, according to the warrant. Their agents found a possible burial site. Investigators found the bodies of the two moms the next day after digging up the chest freezer. Detectives also reportedly recovered items belonging to the suspects. Cops interviewed the property owner, who said he saw Cummins digging on the farm with a skid steer on March 29th and in the early morning hours of March 30th. The property owner told agents that on March 28th or 29th, Cullum and Adams asked if they could cut down a tree, remove a stump, and complete some dirt work near a concrete pile. The owner agreed to let them do the work, and the skid steer was gone by noon on March 30th, the warrant said. On March 31st, Cullum came to the property owner's house and said people were, quote, looking at him for the disappearance of Butler and Kelly, according to the warrant. Callum reportedly told the property owner it looked bad that there were all the skid steer tracks, but no skid steer. Cullum told the property owner that if anyone asked, to say that Cullum had done tree and dirt work for the property owner. Hmm. You know, I'm I'm just thinking, hmm. So you go to your property owner, you're renting their house to, run cattle, and you're like, "Look, not for nothing and not like I'm doing anything shifty, but I need to get this, backhoe in here for some reasons. Totally not dig in a grave or nothing." I mean, this any one of these bunch of shifty-eyed people, and you're the property owner, and then someone goes disappeared, and you're like, "Look, not for nothing, but I was just doing tree work if anyone asks." I mean, it looks suspicious as hell, but have no worries there. Yeah, also, who the F buries someone in a chest freezer? Did they have a chest freezer that didn't work anymore and they were like, "You know what? We're gonna be moving this cattle. We're gonna be butchering some of them. We're gonna get a new chest freezer anyway." I mean, what in the Walmart rapture is this plan? As Law and Crime previously reported, Butler and Kelly were traveling from their homes in southern Kansas to meet Adams to pick up the two kids on March 30th. Butler had a court ordered visitation with her children each Saturday, and Kelly was one of the people the court approved to supervise the visit. Kelly stepped in after the regular supervisor was unavailable, investigators said. So here is this woman just out of the kindness of her heart wanting this woman to see her children. And she's like, you know what? I'm a pastor's wife. Would you trust me? And she's just trying to do nice things. And these, well, proof that cousin marriage isn't a good thing, bunch of ridiculousness, unalive her for no reason other than she was trying to be nice. That's probably, yeah, that's the other thing. I have watched way too much, Law& and Order, Special Victims Unit, and, true crime things to believe that you ever get a backhoe for good reasons. So if I am the property owner, I no. I'm like, "Nope, where'd you hide the bodies? Cletus, don't pull a fast one on me. You're bringing a backhoe onto my property? Did you happen to do something that is a felony?" The two set out around 9 a.m. to pick up the kids, but the pair never made it to their destination. Butler's family members searched for her vehicle and found it shortly abandoned shortly after noon, March 30th, along Highway 95 and Road L in Texas County near the border with Kansas. According to a probable cause affidavit, cops found, quote, evidence of severe injury, end quote, including blood surrounding the vehicle. Officers also recovered Butler's sunglasses and a broken hammer on the road and a pistol magazine without a pistol in Kelly's purse. And I mean, these two women, the blonde was the pastor's wife, and I believe so. Veronica Butler was on the left, and Jillian Kelly were on the right. So the redheaded woman, they were going to see her kids, and the blonde pastor's wife was just like, you know what? I would like you to be able to see your kids. Let me do something out of the kindness of my heart. Just investigators with OSBI quickly zeroed in on Adams after learning of the custody dispute. According to the affidavit, Adams' son, the kids' father, had full custody of the kids, but she often took care of them. I think from the get-go, once we arrived on the scene and gained a little bit of information, we felt that this wasn't a random deal. Texas County Sheriff Matt Boley previously said, "We felt that it was more targeted and we started to look in those areas that we were pointed to." Boley said his agency allowed OSBI to take the lead on the case. Detectives interviewed Adams, who claimed she had spoken with Butler the morning of the disappearance. Adams allegedly said Butler told her that plans had changed and she would not be picking up the kids. But cops determined, in my best Maury Povich voice, survey says that's a lie. Ma'am, ma'am, if you're gonna be an absolute reject who definitely, you know, lends credence to the fact that, brothers and sisters shouldn't get married, just no. This gives Hillchucks a bad name. We do not claim these people, not one bit. Let's see. Agents also talked with Butler's attorney, who said that a judge was about to issue extended visitation to Butler. This apparently didn't sit well with Adams. Cops found recordings of Adams and Cullum allegedly making unaliving threats towards Butler. Adams allegedly told family members that the custody battle wouldn't last much longer because she quote unquote had it under control and knew the path the judge walked to work. Ma'am, did you threaten a judge too? Like, just audacity must be on clearance in Texas County, Oklahoma, I guess. But audacity is on sale. Get you, it's a blue light special at the only Kmart left in America. She is also accused of saying, "We will take out Veronica at a drop off." Detectives on April 3rd interviewed a teenage family member of the Twombleys. The girl allegedly said that Cora Twombly told her that she, her husband Adams, Cullum, and Grease were involved in the murder. She said that Adams had provided her co-conspirators with not okay, burner phones or, just the Walmart phones, the track phones to communicate without using their own phones. Well, I mean, y'all learned a little bit from Murder, She Wrote, but not that much. Uh, and Al Adams also brought 5 stun guns at the local store. 5? Like, just in case the charger goes out on I mean, you come into my line, I am a checkout person, I see you have 5 stun guns, I'm gonna assume you either have $5 or 5 daughters, which I will ask you about. I'll be like, "Oh, you must have a bunch of daughters." And when they say, "No, it's just for me," I am calling the police and letting them know, "Your ass just bought 5 tasers." So either you have OCD and must buy 5 of everything, or you're suspicious. Y'all, I swear to goodness, if any one of my neighbors turn out to be, an unaliver of the serial proportion, everyone is gonna be saying, I never imagined." Mo back there with her hand raised and her bright red hair is gonna say, "That dude creeped me out from day one. I always assumed he had someone locked in his basement or her basement. It's 2024." I'm just saying, y'all, I would be the one to be like, everyone else, "He's such a quiet guy. We always thought he was nice." I'd be like, "Nope, nope, there was something shifty about his eyes. I never trusted him. I didn't let my kids go around him." Just And they're like, "Man, how did you know that?" And I'll say, "Look, I have years of watching law and crime special victim units and, true crime, and he had dead eyes. He had what we call the Manson lamps." They're gonna be like, "Ma'am." Not that I want anyone to be unalived near me, I'm just saying I'll be that one person that was like, "He was not kosher." So this is the other dingus that apparently got roped into the Bonnie and Clyde of the Kmart section. The teenager described to detectives how the suspects said they were part of a religious and anti government group dubbed God's Misfits. Well, bless y'all's heart, Jesus is the only one that's going to love you because right now we all think you're kind of dumb. Oh, the Twombly's allegedly told the girl on the day of the unalivings that they were going on a mission, the affidavit said. The pair returned home around noon on March 30th and told the girls things did not go as planned, but they would not have to worry about Butler again, investigators wrote. Cora Twombly allegedly told the teenager how the plan was for her and her husband to block off the road and throw an anvil through Butler's windshield to divert them off of the road. An anvil? What in the Acme Roadrunner audacious hell is this shit? An anvil? An anvil. Too much Tom and Jerry while you were, I'm guessing, stoned out on gummies. Who in the Roadrunner made this thing? I mean, did y'all go to the Acme store for your burner phones and everything else? Just th I am following this trial because when we get to, "I was gonna throw an anvil," if if someone doesn't roll their eyes hard enough for the Earth to slightly move in its rotation, I don't know what the real cause of, climate change is gonna be. Just an anvil. Okay. And then after anvil throwing at the windshield, apparently the 2 women were going to be forced to go down a side road where the rest of God's dumbasses were gonna be waiting. They wanted it to look like an accident. Because anvils fall out of the flippin' sky all the time. Even Law and Crime, agrees with me because when I said, "Because anvils fall onto the highway all the time," were exactly what the rest of us were thinking. The teenager asked Cora Twombly why Kelly had to die, and she replied that Kelly wasn't innocent because she had supported Butler, the affidavit said. According to the affidavit, the suspects tried to unalive Butler outside her home in February, but she refused to come out. Were you trying to do Ding Dong Ditch, the Deadly Edition? What in the absolute I mean, the fact that these people are smart enough to remember to still breathe every day, just, y'all, I can't. I have no idea what is wrong. Oh my gosh. Adams, Cullum, and the Twombly's were arrested April 13th. Adams also had been previously elected by a handful of people as the Republican Party chair of Cimarron County. Well, politics is a dirty and stupid game, so I guess they picked the dirtiest and stupidest among them. A small county in the far western part of Oklahoma's Panhandle. Leanne Webb, who met Adams last year at a political event, told the New York Post that Adams was unhinged. She has a lot of weird beliefs and thinks that the rest of the world is corrupt. Oh, yes, the rest of the world is corrupt. You're just for God, for tiny baby Jesus, throwing anvils through people's windshields to make their unaliving look like accident. I'm pretty sure I read that in Dalmatians 13:12. Dear Lord, save me. People are getting dumber. It's all conspiracies and stuff that didn't make any sense. My shock face. In our last story, kind of sad, but also if your mom didn't or your grandma didn't have a bunch of these, then, honestly, Sam Butcher, thanks for making precious moments because, oh my goodness, if everyone's grandma didn't have 812 of these along with little Hummel dolls that your mom threatened you within an inch of your life, like you go to grandma's and let's see, and you touch and you break one of them, you're in trouble forever. But unfortunately, they have passed away at 85. And good night, Tammy. I hope you're feeling a little better. I know physical therapy is not fun, but we all have to do it, unfortunately. Sam Butcher, the artist who created Precious Moments figurines depicting angelic teardrop eyed children, has died. He was 85. The company said in a Facebook post that he died early Monday surrounded by family. It said that his life's mission was to, quote, share God's gift of love with the world, end quote. No details about his cause of death were provided. Well, I mean, he was 85. I mean, some of the Christian themed figurines feature Bible verses or children praying. Fans have collections numbering in the hundreds, while critics deride them as kitsch. Butcher's childhood love of illustrating got a wider audience when he began telling Bible stories on a children's ministry television show while he drew. This experience uh, led him co-founding a business in 1974 named John and David after biblical figures, according to his online obituary. Early offerings included greeting cards, and within a few years, these drawings were transformed into porcelain figurines. Thousands of designs have been produced over the decades, and fans of his work flock each year to Precious Moments Inspiration Park and Precious Moments Chapel in Carthage, Missouri. The cornerstone of the pastel painted non denominational oasis is the chapel, which Butcher was inspired to build by a 1983 trip to the Sistine Chapel in Rome. It includes 84 biblical murals that cover more than 5,000 square feet. Quote, he was such an extremely talented artist, but he never took credit for his talent, said Joette Baines, the director of the chapel and a friend. He always said that it was a gift from God, and he gave God all the glory for the talents he had. Oh, I had no idea that a guy made these up. I just figured like a bunch of grandmas made it up. Look, as a very clumsy child who lived in fear of breaking other these little fancy things, but it is it is a wish that everyone has that they would be surrounded by family and friends in their final moments, and I'm glad he got that, and, you know, his his figurines, his art gave a lot of people a lot of happiness and, helped keep a little bit of innocence and childlike joy and hope in the world, so it is my dearest wish that he is in heaven with, the Almighty, making little figurines that, God is telling everyone else not to touch. Anyway, thank you guys for being so understanding about this morning having to cancel a show like in 5 minutes. Thank goodness that Mr. Mo has the skills to kind of do some of these things himself, and it was not as big a scariness as what I was told about 10 minutes before the show because he's like, "We need to file a contractor. I can't do this big a project." And I'm over here like, but everything came okay. And thank you guys for watching tonight, for always being with me as we look at some of the weird, wacky, sad, happy news and smelly news, because apparently that's my new thing. Have a wonderful evening. I think I was going to be sending you to Flux, but let me see if Shizzy has a stream up or if other people have something up because she might be done. So let's see who we can redirect you guys to. Let's see here. Do-do-do. All right, is Shizzy doing this tonight? Okay, I am sending you over to Shizzy's, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow morning. I have been doing a lot of work, so I probably won't be joining Shizzy tonight. Daggone limits and all that it requires. But I will see you guys in the morning, and it will be Friday, which is always a great day. Bye, you guys. Have a good evening. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have a wonderful night. Bye.